You're listening to the Water Cooler Edit with Chris and Rich.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Water Cooler Edit with MyBayut. On this episode, Rich and I will be talking about things you should do before summertime kicks in because it's going to get far too hot to go to certain places. Best to stay indoors.
Yeah, so there's some activities and things to see before it becomes kind of volcanic heat outside, right? So that's what we're going to pretty much focus on today, yeah? Things that to cram in before it gets too hot to go outside.
So before
anything.
Sorry, Rich, for cutting you off there, but before we start, Global Village is not closing down anytime soon, or not closing down, I guess. The end of the season is not soon, is it?
No.
That ends in what, May?
Yeah, I think they extended it last year actually into kind of like the middle, even beyond the middle of May. So we don't know if they're going to have an extension again this year. I suspect they will, but it's yet to be confirmed. But it's even taking that into account, it's not scheduled to close until kind of April, end of April.
So it's still a ways away.
Yeah.
We're fast approaching the end of March now, so it's places like Miracle Garden, which we were talking about before, the place that's connected to the Butterfly Garden as well.
Yeah.
Now, it comes a bit of a surprise, because how is a park being shut down for the summertime?
Well, I mean, I suppose if you're walking around Miracle Garden at the moment, it's pleasant. You've got a little bit of a breeze. You're taking in the lovely flowers, and it is a nice place. Have you been there?
No.
No.
It's outside. Of course, I haven't been there.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, you need to. We need to start making you a list of places that you
No,
need to go.
absolutely not. Can I put a car inside? No, so I don't want to go. There's no cars inside.
They have got cars in there actually,
Oh,
like
do they?
with flowers in the where the engine would be and stuff like that. They got like things like
Is that how the butterflies get to and from the park? They get a little shuttle service from one side to the other?
Well, yes, they obviously, yeah, that is what happens with the butterflies.
Okay.
They actually have their own little cars, yeah.
Oh,
But
right.
this is Miracle Garden. Butterfly Garden is kind of in the same area, but Miracle Garden is a miracle.
Is it? What miracle is it?
It's a floral wonderland in the middle of the desert, huh? You know, how about that? It is
Okay.
kind of nice, actually. Look, I mean, I've been when we've had people come over and visit, taken them there, and everyone has given it rave reviews, right? Obviously, for me, when you're going for like the fourth time, because you know you've been with everyone and excuse come out, it gets a little bit kind of samey. But it's a cool place, and it will be shutting down imminently. So I would we'd recommend that as somewhere to go because look, walking around Miracle Garden, not that it's open anyway, but if you're walking around it in 45-degree heat, not quite as much fun. I wouldn't have said.
It makes sense. I mean, and I guess you can't really do it at night either.
You know, yeah,
It's a
this
bit
is
warm.
true. Yeah, or
But-
I mean, if you do it in peak summer, you'll be watering the flowers with your own sweat.
The one that gets me though is the glow garden.
Yeah,
It glows at night, isn't it?
it does indeed. Yeah.
So wouldn't that be open throughout?
Well,
the
yeah,
year?
but the
Or is it
problem
too
is
hot?
like once we get into peak summer, it doesn't even really cool down that much when the sun goes down, right?
Okay, makes sense.
Or it does, but it just gets more humid, you know?
Okay.
You know what it's like sitting outside. There's that kind of time at the end. It's kind of May, around May time. You go to a restaurant and you think, oh, it's still cool enough to sit outside. You sit outside, and by the time you've made it through the starters, you're sitting in a small puddle of your own.
Makes sense.
sweat.
Makes sense.
You
So
know?
have you been to the glow garden before?
I haven't, but I know people who have all really enjoyed it.
I've just
It's,
realised what we're going to talk about here is probably a list of things that I've driven past but never been inside.
This is
Yeah,
true.
so
This is
we
you
started
can't
with the Miracle
cruising,
Garden.
when you're cruising.
We started with the Miracle Garden, not been in there. Butterfly Garden, no. I actually drove past it the other week, actually. Glow Garden, no, driven past it. Global Village, okay, I have been inside, but it's not closing down for the summertime, so that's still open.
Yeah, I remember you being very excited that there was a petrol station opening
Yes, and it
near
opened.
the entrance of Global Village. Have you frequented this petrol station?
I have not,
Disgraceful.
because I barely
Sort
drive
it
that
out.
into town.
I thought you could be there for the grand opening.
I
and
should have been.
everything.
I should have been there for the grand opening. Been the first person there to fill up. Be like, I love this petrol station, and then come back the next week and it's full.
Yeah. Disappointing. I'm disappointed in you. We need to make you a list as well of things you need to do in Dubai. Chris's tourist attractions.
Can it be things to don't?
Yeah,
Instead.
well, that's what it is at the moment.
Things to drive past, not things to don't, things to drive past. Because honestly, when you see a lot of these places from the outside, I'll be honest, they look very, very inviting. Like the Glow Garden, every time I drive past it, especially at night, you can see the glow from outside, and it looks really, really impressive. It really captivates my eyes.
Yep.
And I was like, I should really go in there at some point. But when is the question?
Yes, this is it. Yeah, well, you haven't found the answer to that question as yet.
I have not.
No, but it is, from what I hear, it's cool, right? It's great for kids as well. Loads of fantastic, flashing, glowing lights. Various things like dinosaurs and stuff like this, and all the rest of it. So it's a lot of fun to be had, but obviously the season is coming to a close. Have you been to Hatta recently?
No. It's amazing enough, it's the one place I never get to go for some reason.
Another place that
Yeah. Well, when was the last time I went to Hatta? A long time ago, we'll say.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So Hatta, they've been opening a lot more stuff down there, as they will be over the coming years as well. But there's things you can do in Hatta that everyone loves. The Hatta Wadi, the kayaking, people really, really enjoy that. Obviously, that's not going to be quite as nice to do in peak summer, so that's another thing. And also, something... my wife's company had an away day down there recently. Stayed overnight, and on the morning of the second day, they hiked up to the Hatta sign. You know the Hatta sign that looks like the Hollywood sign?
Oh, yeah.
Hiked up there for sunrise.
Oh, wow. That must be... I mean, the views of there must be incredible.
Yeah.
Hatta is... If you haven't been to Hatta, we urge you to go 100%. Not just to see this sign, but Hatta is lovely. I mean, there's mountains everywhere, there's greenery,
Yep.
and now there's a sign to look at as well.
There is. There's the old Hatta sign. You can go up there, and there's all other things you can do. The kayaking, there's archery, there's various different things. It's a really cool place to check out, Hatta. It's one of my favourite places in Dubai, UAE, and I think... Obviously, it's way better at this time of year than it is in, say, August. Do you know
That
what
is
I mean?
true. It does get very cold down there.
It's cooler, and in the summer, obviously,
It's hotter.
It nukes up.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what's really cool about Hatta is that they have special taxis there. They have, instead of normal sedans that you see here, they have pickups. To
Yeah.
get you, I would presume up and down the mountains. I wonder if they actually still have them. I haven't heard of them for a while, but I remember this was a thing, and it was really cool to see these things.
Hey.
And they even have special patrols down there from the police and everything too. They have specially equipped vehicles to go into the region.
That's cool, actually. Yeah, and it kind of needs it, right? It's
Yeah.
quite... the landscape is obviously very, very different from central Dubai.
So what other places are there that or better yet, I have to not go to or drive past at some point?
Right, so there's another one in Abu Dhabi. Well, let's stick on the kayaking theme for a start, right? So kayaking at the Louvre.
Okay.
Right, so you can do kayaking around the Louvre Museum, and you can actually do sunrise kayak.
Can you look at art while you're in the kayak?
Yeah, they've actually made canals through the... no, you can't.
Oh.
It's around the outside.
I was going to say, that would be a really cool way to look at art, kayaking around it. I would imagine some of the artwork would get a bit wet.
Yeah,
It
I
would
would
be
imagine
so good
so.
for some of the more expensive pieces. Imagine if it falls down and into the water it goes.
Yeah, maybe not have the school kids doing that one as they splash the
Yeah.
priceless artworks as they go
Makes
go
sense,
past. But yeah, no, around the outside. I mean, the Louvre is a stunning building down in Abu Dhabi, and I think I haven't done it, but I've seen some images online from people who have, and watching the sunrise with that building, because it kind of rises, the sun rises from beyond the building, and you're in your kayak, and that's pretty cool. It's a bit of a bucket list thing, I think.
Well, we're both going to Abu Dhabi at some point, so maybe we should go both do it at the same time.
That's
Let's
it.
go kayaking around the Louvre.
Yeah, maybe I think you can double kayak as well.
Can
so
we?
we could be in a doubler.
Amazing. Who's going to paddle though?
We'd just be going around in circles.
Yeah, 100%. We'll just keep right. So it wouldn't make any sense. We just keep going around in circles, and then we'll somehow navigate to the nearest quiz night.
That's it. Yeah, we'll find ourselves.
We'll find one in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
And the other place, Jubail Island, the Jubail in Abu Dhabi again, mangrove park. Various things that you can do kayaking again and all the rest of it, but they've got a boardwalk, a 2-kilometre boardwalk, which they opened a couple of years back through the mangroves. It's beautiful, right? It's really nice just to take kids, whatever, or for a romantic stroll with your significant other. And that's, again, look, this time of year is absolutely perfect for that. In a couple of months, you're going to want to...
Yeah, I can imagine it being a mangrove. It's going to get quite humid, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. You're going to have the sun beating down on your head. Not quite as nice.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, definitely, I think we would recommend for this time of year before it's too late.
If you have any other suggestions that you think you could go to before the summertime hits, do let us know in the comment section below. Obviously, places like water parks they're going to be open no matter what, because of course that's a great way to cool down, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This is true, actually, right? And we do now have the world's largest water park with Aquaventure on the Palm. That is now officially the world's largest water park, because they had an extension last year. So, the tagline is, can you conquer the world's largest water park? Do you think you can conquer the world's largest water park, Chris?
I've not been to a water park in years. I keep wanting to go back to Dreamland every time I drive past it, but I haven't been, and I should really go at some point.
It's still around, yeah.
It's still around.
It's still going, still very popular.
Yep. Amazingly enough, because every time I drive past it, there's just millions of people parked outside of it, which is one too many than I'd like to have outside. I prefer it just to be by myself and just.
Can you imagine having a water park to yourself?
It would be so much fun.
That's the dream, isn't it?
Just have every slide to yourself, the wave pool to yourself.
Yeah. No, well, that should be a competition. There should be a competition that you can win to have a water park to yourself for an entire day.
The only problem is that if the ride were to shut down for any reason, you'd be solely to blame, because you're the only person. You can't blame the guy behind you or the front of you.
Yeah, no, that's it.
You'd be in the doghouse
There's no hiding.
No hiding whatsoever.
There's no hiding when you've got the park to yourself.
There you go.
But no, I agree with you. Like water parks, all year round. They're all year round here. I mean, obviously in the summer you're going to want to keep in the shade as much as possible and stuff. But you can't cool yourself in a much more effective way than going down, rocketing down a chute into a pool of cold water.
Exactly. Don't hide under the water, because the sunlight actually penetrates more through the sunlight, so you actually get tan and you get burnt more if you go underwater.
Is that true? Have you
Yes,
just made that? Is that an urban legend? Or
No, it's true.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Science.
Hey, how about that? We're all learning something today.
We are. Well, that wraps up this episode of the Water Cooler Edit with MyBayut. Of course, you want to check out any of the topics that we've discussed on this episode, you can check it out on the MyBayut blog, which is Bayut.com/MyBayut. Thanks, Rich, for joining me again. And, well,
cheers, man.
When are we going kayaking?
It's imminent. It's imminent. If you turn up, though, because I know you'll just drive past. You'll just drive past and wave at me.
I guess Yas Marina is right next door, so probably, probably true. There's cars there. See ya.
Cheers, guys.
You're listening to the Water Cooler Edit with Chris and Rich.